The footage shows a team of workers operating on an upper level while a heavy metal container is being lifted and moved by a crane overhead. Suddenly, the crane cable or sling snaps, causing the massive load to fall rapidly and forcefully onto the structure below, severely impacting a worker who was positioned in the immediate danger zone beneath the path of the falling object. This incident highlights an immediate and extreme risk of severe physical harm associated with overhead dropped loads and equipment failure. This footage serves as a vital safety warning, emphasizing the necessity of mandatory, rigorous pre-use inspection of all lifting gear. Cables, slings, hooks, strict enforcement of exclusion zones, never standing or working beneath a suspended load, and regular maintenance schedules for all crane and hoisting mechanisms to prevent catastrophic consequences. The video documents a severe maintenance failure where two workers were servicing a large, suspended metal bin. A critical error occurred when one worker was inside the bin and the improperly secured rigging failed. This caused the heavy container to immediately collapse and strike one of the nearby men. This incident demonstrates the extreme risk of severe physical harm from working on or near unsecured loads and highlights the mandatory necessity of certified inspection of all rigging points, prohibiting personnel from entering suspended structures, and strictly following safety protocols before and during maintenance work. The video captures a sudden and severe safety incident at an active construction site. The footage shows workers gathered on the ground level when, without warning, a large metal panel or sheet falls from an elevated position, striking a worker who was standing directly beneath the fall path. This incident highlights an immediate and extreme risk of severe physical harm associated with uncontrolled, dropped objects. This footage serves as a vital safety warning, emphasizing the necessity of mandatory tool and material control procedures on upper levels, strict enforcement of clear exclusion zones, no-go areas, beneath all overhead work, and requiring all personnel to wear hard hats at all times to prevent catastrophic consequences from falling debris. The footage shows a worker opening the rear door of a truck or trailer to begin offloading. Crucially, the worker fails to check or secure the load inside before opening the door. Immediately upon opening, a heavy piece of cargo, which was unsecured, rolls or slides out violently, striking the worker and causing him to fall forcefully to the ground. This incident highlights an immediate and extreme risk of severe physical harm associated with unsecured loads and unsafe unloading procedures. This footage serves as a vital safety warning, emphasizing the necessity of mandatory load inspection and securing protocols before travel. Always checking for shifting or unstable cargo behind doors before opening, and maintaining a safe standoff position when initially opening doors on loaded trailers to prevent catastrophic impact from falling objects. The footage shows a woman sitting or positioned near a work area where a bucket containing hot liquid, likely water, is present. Suddenly, an unsecured metal object rolls or slides and strikes the bucket, causing the hot contents to spill directly onto the woman's legs. The incident was exacerbated by her sitting too close to the active work zone being utilized by the crew. This footage highlights an immediate and extreme risk of severe physical harm associated with uncontrolled debris and hot materials. This serves as a vital safety warning, emphasizing the necessity of mandatory clear separation between resting areas and active construction, maintenance zones, securing all materials that could roll or fall, and ensuring extreme caution when handling or storing hot liquids near personnel to prevent catastrophic burn and contact injuries. The footage shows a forklift transporting a tall, unstable stack of metal frames or racks. As the operator moves the load past an area where two workers are resting or taking a break, the high-stacked cargo suddenly shifts and collapses violently from the forks, slamming directly into the position where the two workers were sitting. This incident highlights an immediate and extreme risk of severe physical harm associated with unsecured and excessively tall loads. This footage serves as a vital safety warning, emphasizing the necessity of mandatory load-securing protocols, for example, shrink wrapping, proper stacking, strict limits on safe travel height for stability, and enforcing absolute separation between active vehicular travel paths and designated worker rest areas to prevent catastrophic impact accidents. The footage shows a forklift operator maneuvering a load of cargo that was improperly secured. As the load begins to tilt precariously, the operator leaves the safety of the driver's cab in an attempt to manually stabilize the heavy items. Due to the weight and instability, the entire load immediately collapses, striking the worker who was positioned too close to the falling material. This incident highlights an immediate and extreme risk of severe physical harm associated with insecure loads and the dangerous practice of leaving the cab to intervene manually. This footage serves as a vital safety warning, emphasizing the necessity of mandatory load inspection and securement before travel, staying fully contained within the forklift cab with the seatbelt fastened during any operational failure, and never attempting to manually hold back a collapsing load to prevent catastrophic impact and crushing accidents. The footage shows two workers operating a crane to lift materials. As they raise the lifting hook, the suspension cable suddenly snaps, causing the heavy crane hook assembly to plummet downward. One worker manages to retreat quickly and avoid impact, but the crane operator, unfortunately, is struck directly by the falling hook assembly, which causes him to be forcibly ejected from the crane's machinery to the ground below. This incident highlights an immediate and extreme risk of severe physical harm associated with equipment failure in overhead lifting. This footage serves as a vital safety warning, emphasizing the necessity of mandatory, rigorous pre-use inspection of all lifting cables and rigging, strict enforcement of clear exclusion zones around crane operation areas, and regular maintenance and stress testing of all hoisting components to prevent catastrophic dropped loads and impact accidents. The footage shows a forklift operator maneuvering cargo while a pedestrian worker is walking nearby. Because the load of cargo obstructs the driver's forward visibility, the operator fails to see the walking worker, resulting in a direct collision with the pedestrian. This incident highlights an immediate and extreme risk of severe physical harm associated with restricted operator sightlines and shared vehicle, pedestrian zones. This footage serves as a vital safety warning, emphasizing the necessity of mandatory clear pedestrian separation and designated walkways, strict enforcement of operating guidelines, for example, trailing the load, driving backward when the view is blocked, and using audible warnings, horns, consistently when visibility is impaired to prevent catastrophic workplace collisions. The footage shows a forklift operator attempting to raise cargo to an elevated position, such as a rooftop or upper floor. Because the load was not properly secured or positioned, it tilts severely and falls forcefully from the forklift's tines, striking a worker positioned below or nearby. This incident highlights an immediate and extreme risk of severe physical harm associated with hoisting unstable loads to height and working in the fall zone. This footage serves as a vital safety warning, emphasizing the necessity of mandatory securement protocols for all lifted materials, strict prohibition against standing in the potential fall zone of elevated loads, and using only designated, approved lifting platforms when raising materials to height to prevent catastrophic impact accidents.